Hey guys, it's Emily. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 5 DIYs you can make with scrapbook paper. Let's get on with the video. The first DIY I'm going to show you how to make is this tray. You want to start by painting the tray with any color of acrylic paint. I painted mine white. You don't have to paint the whole bottom of the tray because you are going to be covering it up later, but you might want to paint the sides at the bottom. When the paint is dry, you want to get your scrapbook paper and flip it over so you see the back. Then you want to line up one of the corners of the paper with one of the corners of the tray. Then you want to put a mark with a pencil on the sides that are connected to the corner that's lined up to a corner on the tray. And for the third corner, you want to measure where it will be. Then you can connect the 3 marks and cut off the extra paper. You can also place the paper slightly in the tray to see if it fits, but you don't want to completely put it in because you want to glue it on the bottom of the tray later. When you have your paper ready to go on the bottom of the tray, you want to take Mod Podge or another type of glue and brush it on the bottom of the tray. The last thing you want to do is that you want to place the paper on the bottom of the tray. Then you want to wait for it to dry before you start using it. The second DIY I'm going to show you how to make is this double-sided bookmark. The first thing you want to do is that you want to measure and cut out the first side of your bookmark to any size that you want. I measured mine to be 6.5 by 2 inches. When you're done cutting out the first side of your bookmark, you want to trace what you just cut out. And then you want to cut it out so you have 2 pieces. The next thing you want to do is that you want to brush on Mod Podge or another type of glue on the back of one of the pieces of paper. Then you want to place the back of what you just put glue on onto the back of the other piece. If you see the back of the paper on either side of the bookmark, you can cut it off, and then you can wait for it to dry. When the bookmark is dry, you want to take a hole puncher and make a hole in the bookmark. Then you want to cut a few strands of yarn or ribbon that's long enough to be folded in half. I cut 5 pieces of yarn, and that made it look like there are 10 pieces of yarn when folded. When you're done cutting your strands, you want to fold them in half. Then you want to twist the folded part so it becomes smaller. And then you want to run it through the hole of the bookmark. Then you can take the ends and pull it through the loop. The last thing you can do is that you can trim the strands, and then you're all done with your bookmark. The next DIY I'm going to show you how to make is this canvas. The first thing you want to do is that you want to take a piece of scrapbook paper and lay it over the top of the canvas. And you want to line the paper up with one corner of the canvas. You can use a canvas of any size, but it just has to be smaller than your scrapbook paper. The size of my canvas is 4 by 4 inches. The next thing you want to do is that you want to carefully flip the canvas and the paper over. If you need to, you can adjust the paper before you go on to the next step. After you make sure the paper is in the right spot, you want to trace the canvas onto the paper. Then you can cut out what you just traced. Now before you glue it on, you want to make sure it fits, and if it fits the way you want it to, you can go on to the next step. The last steps you want to do is that you want to take Mod Podge or another type of glue and brush it on the canvas. Then you can place the back of the paper on the canvas, and then you're all done with your canvas. The fourth DIY I'm going to show you how to make are Polaroids. The first thing you want to do is that you want to draw and cut out a square that measures 2.5 by 2.5 inches out of scrapbook paper. You don't have to make the square this size, you can make it any size that you want. When you're done cutting out your square, you want to brush on Mod Podge or another type of glue on the back of the square. Then you want to place the square on a piece of cardstock paper while leaving a border on two sides of the square, and this will create two sides of the Polaroid. You can also just place it randomly on the paper and create the whole Polaroid frame later. After you're done lining up the square, you can add some more glue if it's needed. The next thing you can do is that you can measure one of the sides and draw out the third short side of the border. Or if you decided to place the square randomly on the paper, you can create all three short sides. The short sides of my frame measured about 3/4 of an inch. To finish the frame, you want to draw out the bottom part of the Polaroid. I measured this to be about 13/16 of an inch. The last things you want to do is that you want to cut the Polaroid out and erase any pencil markings. Then you're all done. The last DIY I'm going to show you how to make is something that you can put in a clear phone case. You want to start off by tracing a clear phone case on the back of your scrapbook paper. Then you want to cut off the extra paper. Now for the camera hole, you want to place the paper in the phone case and trace the camera hole. Then you want to cut out the camera hole with an X-Acto knife. The last thing you want to do is that you can put the paper back in the phone case, or you can put some extra stuff like pictures on it, and then you can place the paper in your phone case. Then you're all done. And that's how you make these DIYs. In the comments down below, let me know which DIY is your favorite, and if you like this video, subscribe to see more videos. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!